dear.
Hello, stoppies of America.
Hey, why do we have to stop? Why do we have to have borders to the people, our potential fans who might be out there listening to?
That's right. It is a world without borders, and it is flat. The earth that we live on. It's Mike and Heather.
We're back. Surprisingly enough, it's been quite a week. We've been going at these at a whirlwind pace. Have you started to notice any, degradation of like your intellect, or like has it been intrusive to your psyche?
I realized I only listen to bad music now. I barely have time to listen to music I like because I have to prepare for this podcast now. And it's like peak season at work, so I don't have a lot of time. Like I usually listen to music at work, but I haven't been. So really, I think the only albums I've listened to, I think I listened to a couple others, but it's pretty much just been Broken Side, Bruno, and this week's
atrocity
thing, whatever it is.
So especially because we have such active and engaged fans that are constantly sending us new recommendations of albums that we should review, and this was actually a fan recommendation from Stefan from Montreal, who
he lives in Toronto now.
Toronto. He loves this album that he suggested for us today. He actually thinks it's great, and I have some issues with that. Stefan, come.
I don't know. I might. We'll get into it. I might fall on the other side of that equation.
We'll see. It's almost like we have a little bit to discuss today on our little podcast, but quite a bit. Our engaged fan base also includes a friend that we have here with us today. So why don't we go ahead?
You know him.
Introduce that friend.
You know him from Anti-Tank Dog. You know him from Glamhurst. You know him from the Cobcast, the podcast about the cobbler.
2014.
And of course, you know him from Whole Children. It is our dear friend, Brian Melanson.
Yay!
What's up, guys? Good intro.
And that was a nicely placed siren.
That was a nice intro. Yeah.
That was an authentic. That was a nat sound out there.
Yeah.
So
it's a field recording.
Yep.
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys?
So I want to ask you, my buddy, my pal.
Oh yeah, cool.
What makes you qualified in any way to come in and comment on what we have to discuss here today?
So I'm not I'm the opposite of qualified in any way to comment on this recording or anything else. But so I heard about Farrah Abraham's on Tuesday of this week, and I'm now the biggest fan. Yeah, the
What are Farrah Abraham's?
What
are Farrah Abraham's fans called?
Abe heads.
Abra fans.
Abra fans. Yeah, that's it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
It's better than Stoppies.
am famous.
Wait. Shut your mouth.
Stoppies is good. Stoppies is fine. It's fine.
I will die on the Stoppy Hill.
It's nice.
It's nice. Stoppies seems nice. Listen, let me tell you about me, listener. I recorded a podcast about the 2014 Adam Sandler film, The Cobbler, which is available for streaming on Netflix. It's really bad. It's a 4-hour deep dive into every scene of The Cobbler. It's 4 episodes. We then recorded a partial podcast about the classic film Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, which we couldn't even finish because it's so bad. So that's what makes me qualified, I guess, to answer your original question from a few minutes ago.
Because you did that. So God knows you have no standards.
No standards. So.
We brought our friend Brian here today because misery does love company.
True.
It is true. And also because, an album of this magnitude, of this kind of caliber is something special. It requires, a multifaceted sort of analysis.
It is a diamond with many sides.
It is. It is sharp, and it is crystalline, and it is emblematic of pain and suffering, and
yes, it is
exploitation.
It's also ubiquitous in nature and actually worthless.
Yeah,
is what I'll say.
Shouts out to Sajali.
Yeah, thank you.
Shouts out.
Shouts out.
Google him.
Multiple shouts going out to my side.
But yeah, that is an apt metaphor for My Teenage Dream Ended, which is the album that we're here today to discuss. It is the album from by Farrah Abraham, who was known for her work, getting pregnant and being a 16-year-old. It's hard work. I mean, her hit single. She was a teen mom, and she became also a star of the subsequent spinoff Teen Mom. You may have heard of it.
Now, you watched her on those shows, right? Because I never watched.
I did, yeah. We used to have Teen Mom Taco Tuesdays, where we would make tacos and watch Teen Mom and, think, wow, a few wrong decisions, and there's not too many differences between old Farrah and I. But
was she your fave?
No, she was horrible.
Was she your least fave?
Absolutely my least fave.
Oh, wow.
Wait, so there's multiple teen moms.
Yeah. Caitlin and Justin, I think, was her boyfriend. They were like super well adjusted. Hope they're doing well. And then you had Amber, who was a hot mess and like totally a disaster, but she was entertaining. Farrah was dead inside.
Oh,
still is.
I got that.
And so, and like this is the type of lady who like thought it was like perfectly reasonable to wax her 5-year-old child's eyebrows.
Oh God.
So just to set the stage, so like I know of that vaguely from watching the show. I had no idea that she came out with an album. We put it out to our fans, and this is what happens when we put faith in the people, because fuck democracy. This shit is really bad. So we what?
Is this the Trump getting elected of albums?
I'm
landslide.
It's definitely an early contender it's definitely an early contender. Yeah, no one expected this to happen. It's kind of like an unnatural disaster. Farrah Abraham, she was like 16 when she got pregnant.
She was 16 and pregnant.
She was 16,
the
also
titular...
pregnant, additionally pregnant, and if you did not know,
also
with
in addition
child.
To as well as
with child,
pregnant,
with child, impregnated. There was a little baby moving around inside of her. And she had this on again, off again, like pretty like pettily abusive relationship with this guy in her high school, who was actually like a total asshole.
What's his name?
Derek Underwood.
Derek.
He was a dick. He lied all the time. They were both like pretty evil to each other and abusive. Her own parents were pretty abusive, so she like comes to this realization, but again with the same sort of dispassionate, like detached sort of, oh, well, and then I realized that my parents never told me they loved me, and moving on, the end, So her boyfriend gets her pregnant, but then they break up. She doesn't know she's pregnant. They're trying to both make each other jealous, and he's constantly cheating on her, even though they're not together, but like throwing it in her face and vice versa, and then they get back together, and then but she never tells him that she's pregnant with his kid, and he ends up getting in a car accident and dying. He's driving drunk, and he dies like right after Christmas. Oof. And she's like 6 or 7 months pregnant with his kid.
Sucks.
Which he didn't even know necessarily was his. So that's like what is the crux, the emotional kind of climax of this story. And it really is it's a terrible,
really sad story.
It's a very sad story.
And then, I mean, did she become a stripper before or after this album came out also?
I think after. I think this came out in 2012, and she was still doing Teen Mom, and I think it was post-Teen Mom.
How old was she at this point? Like 19, 20?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, maybe 19 or 20, and then she graduated high school early. She was able to get her associate's degree in like culinary studies.
That's pretty good.
I know, dude. You got to give her some credit. You got to give her some serious credit.
No, I definitely give her some credit. I mean, I read that nowadays she's like a stripper in Vegas with a residency, and she makes like a salary of like $400-something thousand a year.
We contain multitudes,
which is fine.
Well, why is she a sought-after stripper in Vegas? Is it because a bunch of dudes watched her on TV when she was a teenager and fantasized about her? Because that's a little fucked up.
I know that's a little fucked up.
The thing is that Farrah Abraham's life contains tragedy that art could be made out of.
Yes,
but it doesn't seem like she like knows that, or like she doesn't like feel it on some like important emotional level.
Yeah,
that's
or maybe like I don't know. Like, we got to get her in the therapist's office and, like, check in. Like, make sure everything's okay.
Maybe not. There's another chapter in this book.
Oh, God.
Called Dude, There's a Hair in My Taco.
Fair. All right. Maybe that's not.
Maybe.
That's the kind of hard-hitting...
So this is where it gets mad. Like, I get frustrated with people who are like, oh, this is some, like, deep and outsider art. Like, come on, dude. Really?
That's the kind of hard-hitting, observational, slice of life, writing that one would expect from a Farrah Abraham.
Right.
So this album is released as a accompaniment to her book that came out with the same title, My Teenage Dream Ended, which is her autobiography, which I actually fucking read. Yeah. I actually went and read it today.
Heather really going for it.
It was like half of it was like a coloring book, and it was like 100 pages long. So I was like, all right, I'll read this. It was all written with like the dispassionate, third party, like dissociated, vigor of like a corpse, and it was really sad. So moving on, I don't even want to talk much about the book.
Dissociation.
So was there any connection between what the content of the book and the content of the album?
Yes, the content of the album is the song titles are also chapter titles, and they describe stories that are again told with the same dispassionate, atonal, scary nightmare vibe as the album. And so this album is it's very controversial because you have a camp of people.
Yes, this is very interesting.
Yeah, very, very fascinating.
What
so
are you about to say?
When Jezebel first reviewed this album, they called one of the songs on this album the worst collection of songs ever to be ever to be recorded ever. And
the Guardian, right?
The Guardian, yeah.
The Guardian said that it was an outstanding piece of outsider art. And gave it a positive review, and was it them that put it on the end of the year list as one of the best albums of the year. 2015?
It's
so that's
hugely
wrong.
divisive.
So they're wrong.
They're wrong.
That's not true.
It is hugely divisive.
I kind of get that perspective, though.
Is she?
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we will.
Is she, some brilliant, tortured artist that's telling this compelling, tale of her own descent into madness and using these auto-tuned, filtered layers to comment on, how her life has been consumed through the media, and I don't know, that she's just like a facet of everybody else's imagination filtered through tabloid magazines and porn videos.
Right, but see, I'd say surely, any artistic merit that can be gleaned from this album is, just an accident.
Accidental.
But does that make it less valid?
Right, does that make it not art?
So I would say that both of those takes are very charitable, for one thing. And
we need a good buzzkill.
I actually was thinking at points in this album about the question of what makes something music and what makes something art, and I think this is a good case study in what music is not.
I actually had a similar thought where the beats are music, and then the way that she uses her voice above the beats turns it into not music.
Yeah,
right. It's kind of like reading a manual. Loudly with a strange iambic kind of pentameter, but even
the meter is
less human.
Less human. It's
less
definitely
human.
It's odd.
Filtered through many layers of auto-tune.
And it's a disembodied robot head out there in the void.
It's like fax machines fucking.
Correct.
We're talking a lot about it. Maybe we should show the listeners what it's all about, because we're talking about these. They gotta hear what we're talking about with these vocals. This is
for sure.
This album is really something else.
It's fucked up.
You can. I've never heard anything like this before in my life.
Same.
Well, let's do the right thing, I guess, and have everybody listen to this. Sorry, the wrong thing.
So this is track 1, The Phone Call That Changed My Life.
Cut off oxygen to my brain. The anxiety fills my veins.
So,
So now you see what we're working with here.
This is where we're at.
That's not a standout moment either. It's pretty much the whole thing.
It's basically like a Rusko dubstep beat.
Yep.
You know, from a little bit outdated dubstep beat with just lyrics coming in whenever.
Yep, with these GarageBand, like clearly from GarageBand, like synth lines that are just oddly placed. It definitely seems like, I don't know, never before have Flo Rida club bangers since seemed so anxiety inducing. It doesn't make sense.
I feel like you're being offensive to Flo Rida club bangers right now.
That's what those are the synths, just the synths. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's those are lifted straight from a.
I don't know. They're a little cheaper than Flo Rida though. The synths are very. Their GarageBand is apt. It's GarageBand. Esque.
At least. So she does have a producer.
At most.
Yeah, she has a producer, and in fact, actually, I read an interview with him.
Tell us about this. I can't imagine that they had any sort of communication whatsoever.
No, well, they did. I mean, I think he's proud of this album. He didn't want his name on it at first, like when.
That doesn't sound like he's proud of this album.
No,
that's not how I communicate about being proud about something. That's
Don't
not.
put my name on this.
Before they recorded it,
I love it. I'm proud.
He had an inkling, and he was just like, "All right, I'm not sure if I want to put my name on this." But they did it. I guess he like had these beats already. She like picked which beats she wanted. But then when they went into the studio to record, she didn't feel comfortable recording over any of the beats. So he just played like a click track, like a metronome to the BPMs of the beat.
She didn't feel comfortable doing songs.
No,
basically
she didn't.
What happened? So why would you continue to then say, I want to do this? Like, whose idea was this?
Yeah, and she was just kind of reading from a book of poetry, and he was kind of like,
poetry.
These aren't all gonna like
Isn't the word I use for
fit.
this.
So he had to like kind of cut up the vocals and.
Wait, this is him trying to make them fit?
Yeah.
This is them fitting?
Well, they also apparently had very limited time in the studio. Like she booked
clearly.
She booked like a really expensive studio for this.
Oh no.
For whatever reason.
Oh no. Oh no.
She needed that.
So like they didn't have. He basically said like, yeah. So the autotune, like it's all in the right key, but we didn't have enough time to maybe get the notes to be what they should have been.
Wait, that is what music
so
is.
Like,
that is what it's like saying, oh, I wrote a book, but like it doesn't have words in it.
He's like, so maybe we had a D here instead of a C, but it's still in key.
Technically, it's right.
Yeah.
No,
it's wrong.
That's not how music works.
Well, one of the things you notice with this entire album is there's before she sings and then after she sings.
Yeah.
It's radically different as soon as she opens her mouth. It's just like, whoa, what's happening?
Right, because at the beginning it sounds like a track that one of my children have created at one of my after-school programs, and it's like just an assemblage of GarageBand samples.
Like, nice job.
I think you're
seemingly
doing your students dirty right now.
Yeah, no, exactly.
No,
but
I
then,
think if you're in fifth grade, like this is fine.
This is developmentally appropriate for a fifth grader.
Yes, yeah. And then she starts singing.
And then it
And then it's just bonkers.
And it's scary.
So, and you can hear
it's like a horror movie.
Yeah, it is actually. There are points in this album where honestly I felt concerned for her and
often
afraid.
And scared for myself.
Yeah. Also for myself.
Yes.
The Broken Side album and the Bruno album were like frustrating, and they made me mad.
Maddening.
This just made me feel really bad for Farrah Abraham.
It is a sad.
It's sad,
and also feel scared.
It's alienating.
I locked the doors to the house while I was listening. I was like, just in case. I don't know if I'm like summoning.
I mean, it was like it was like it's like playing
bad.
one of those like when the family rights council or whatever was trying to play those Judas Priest albums backwards and say that they had satanic messaging in them. That is what this sounds like, and I believe that it is satanic.
It is satanic,
which might make it better.
Actually, you're doing Satanism dirty.
Yeah,
a little bit there.
True.
I gotta say,
it's true. Every comparison is lacking because there really isn't. There's nothing to compare this to. Yeah, it really is.
Quite compares.
And that's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, like replaying the song or like trying to sing along to the song is impossible. Like you never get one of these songs stuck in your head.
No,
because it's impossible to remember because the cadence is so jarring. And
correct. It's the chorus
unnatural.
It's the chorus because she said that once already before.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh yeah,
there's no song structure whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just a shot in the dark. Yeah, all the time.
Actually, I'm going to disagree because this next song has a pretty clearly defined hook, and let's listen to it.
All right.
Now, see, that's a hook.
Panic-inducing.
It's a scary hook.
Panic-inducing.
Don't let it get out. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like that works.
Do you like scary movies?
That's the only real hook on the album, honestly. It's the only one. That's the only time there's
like,
any differentiation between like types of delivery in the song. You know,
right?
Like,
it is like an expression of emotion, even though it's just panic.
Even though it's just her
It's like panicked ASMR breathing.
Yeah. It is some bad trip ASMR.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I wrote down the soundtrack to losing your friends at a shitty rave in Connecticut after doing too much ketamine.
Oh no. Yeah, it is that vibe. It's that
For sure.
It's sleazy and greasy and gross.
It's that terrifying dissociative vibe.
It's also impossible to know what she's saying.
Yeah,
Like-
well, love life thing.
Yeah.
I wrote. She's like monotonously reading off slogans from TJ Maxx throat pillows.
But yeah, no, I think that it's also she's saying the words so fast, like she's trying to get them out. Like I feel like she doesn't even want to do this.
It's like a
maybe
panic
she felt like she
rub,
had to
like-
for whatever reason. But like it feels like she's uncomfortable, and she clearly
makes
was
me feel
uncomfortable.
really
in the
I'm
studio.
uncomfortable.
I-
We're all
it doesn't
uncomfortable.
feel like she
She's trying to run
consented.
away from this album.
Yeah.
But isn't it her idea?
I know.
Was it? I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
this
it's
album,
just
this is really an enigma.
you
this
get
whole
rid.
thing.
Yeah, we're worried. We're getting worried for her.
We've
now.
been very worried. It's everything is at least a half step offbeat. It's the cadence and the emphasis on the words.
Emphasis on the words.
Do not make sense. Like I don't.
That was better though. The thing is that
And
you
also,
like
you can't replicate it.
You can't even do it.
It's like The Room. It's like that kind
Yeah.
of like masterful, but
it's-
like
yeah.
terrible. Really, just terrible, but
Just really
ambitiously
Ambitious,
terrible.
but terrible. Yeah.
And it's this
And-
weird
and
thing.
you
also-
can't
not
replicate it.
repeatable.
It's a weird thing also where it seems like the last word of every line is like the one she says the quickest and shortest. Like she's I gotta be done with I have to be done saying this words. Saying the words.
Yeah, it doesn't ever rhyme. Also, I don't think there's ever any rhyming.
There's a couple rhymes, but it's like
I think those are accidental
They're
too.
accidental. Yeah. Alright.
It's so
it's good.
yeah.
Good album.
It's like a Rebecca Black singing in crystal meth tongues.
Rebecca Black
Well
was on
said.
beat.
Yeah, Rebecca Black.
Yeah.
But that's
Rebecca
actually
Black sounded
true.
really rehearsed. There was definitely
And that's the thing. She recorded this to a metronome, which
Right.
literally is
Is a
a
beat.
beat.
And she had-
There's no way that the words that are
Yeah.
represented in this song was on any sort of metronome.
She had
Let me brain. Like,
Wow, that was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty
yeah,
good.
that's accurate.
Yeah.
it's bad. It's dissonant. It's atonal, and it's deeply uncomfortable. Which is, I
so
think
discomforting.
that
It's
is
very
where
discomforting.
it gets to the edge of what could be potentially its charm.
Right.
You know, that's that because like if you think about like punk sort of like avant-garde electronic or like
Yeah.
industrial music, right? Like
Harsh noise.
harsh noise.
It's good, but it isn't tonal necessarily. Is that what you're sort of getting at? You're saying it doesn't
Well,
have
no,
to be
it's like good music can be
well-structured,
atonal.
yeah, totally.
But the question is always still about intention. Like it comes back to intention.
Yeah.
And like does it matter if this was intentionally like that or not? Because if you don't care about the intention, then you could call this like some weird shit like some like Death Grips-esque like
Because it's emotionally affecting music, which is more than I can say
Well-
about Broken Side, which is more than I can say about Bruno.
Well, I mean, you could say that
I felt no emotions other than just anger and frustration listening to
if you
those albums.
open-
And this one,
Let
on.
me ask you this: if you open, let's say you're let's say you're at work, and you open the door and you watch someone getting like having a violent physical altercation with another coworker, did you just see art happen? Like, no, you saw, you know what I mean? You saw something that sucks and it's bad.
Brian.
and it happened in public.
Yeah,
Just because
like,
it happened in public doesn't make it art. Yeah.
Exactly.
If you recorded it and put it in a gallery, is it then art?
I don't know. I hope not.
This is
I mean-
this is what people go to college for.
I
Fair,
know,
fair,
but
fair.
Farrah
Fawcett.
I'm not convinced that they
Abraham's-
even know Farrah Abraham.
Abraham Maslow's hierarchy.
This is unfair. Yeah. What's also funny about this song is that I was looking up the lyrics. The lyrics are
Oh my God.
nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
you can't
same.
find the
couldn't-
lyrics.
I was gonna say, did you find the lyrics? I
This
couldn't find
one, it actually, on multiple websites,
Yay.
it linked to a Bible song that was,
Whoa.
the lyrics were, Jesus love me, yes I know.
Yeah, what the fuck
Whoa.
was
because
that
the
about?
Bible tells me so. And it was like all of the results came up that way.
It's really strange, yeah.
So
And
again,
also,
the satanic...
Some of the lyrics were
That's
like
terrifying.
so wrong that I found like transcribed. Like, no one really tried. No one put in the
No.
effort to figure this album out.
But nobody put in the effort to write words that
No.
made sense.
No.
So like,
no one
what?
put in any effort at all on this
True.
album.
I can't imagine that they did. All right, we have more songs. We
This is-
should keep it
It's a
going.
deep dive.
This
Let's
is
get
track
It's a very
3.
deep dive.
We're in.
We're in deep.
We're in the thick.
Track 3, Caught in the Act.
And this refers to the chapter in the book where her dad catches her and her boyfriend Derek having sex, and then her dad, I believe, punches Derek. And
Whoa,
then, and then,
spicy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then Derek calls the cops on the dad, and then the dad gets sent to jail.
Oh
and,
my God.
And Derek's parents press charges.
So I
yeah,
feel like-
both of the parents in this story get sent to jail.
I need to say
Whoa.
this, Heather. I think you just made art. You know what I mean? Like, but
What?
Farrah maybe doesn't. Let's play this.
Wait, how did I?
Because your story was better than this song is by
Oh.
a million times.
All right, well, let's hear it, and we'll discuss.
Rebel because I fell. Family is family, but love is love. Fantasies came alive.
Family is family, but love is love.
Is love, love,
Love,
love, love, love, love, love, love, love.
It's
Fucking
good.
scary.
Family is
guys.
family, and love is love.
It is scary.
It's also shout out to that 2012 dubstep, which that was like already 4 years, like at least 4
right.
years too late. I feel like these lyrics are what happens when you translate from English to Swedish to Japanese and then back to English again on Google Translate.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what it sounds like
sure,
throughout
for
this
sure.
entire friggin'
For sure.
story. That's literally what it is. This entire album.
I wanted to bring transcripts of lyrics, but couldn't figure out most of them. It's so hard to understand what she's saying.
The only one I could really figure out in this song was when she says like, "You might think my guy is a trick," and then she like says like Soldier Boy, yeah, trick.
Yeah.
just
She
dropping
does
a-
reference Soulja Boy. She
dropping a-
that was literally the only inclination I had in the course of this album that this was a human being that created this.
Yeah.
Right,
Because,
or that
like,
she's
what-
ever heard music
Or that
before.
she's ever heard music before, literally because she referenced Soulja Boy in this one track, and I was like, okay, that's a human.
Which might
Also,
be accidental.
Soldier Boy might be a candidate for a future episode.
oh,
honestly.
absolutely.
Like,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you guys gotta talk about Soulja Boy.
All of this stuff, it just reads, it's like very like bipolar music. You
yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
It's like it'll have this like very like aggressively like overly like party heavy, you know, like synth lines and shit that's like
Yeah.
you know, sounds like a club anthem, and then it's like I hate everything and I don't know if I can live, and then something else was happening then, and you know, like it's just this
Actually, no-
panicked,
Yeah.
You just made me realize that
frantic.
her delivery kind of sounds like she's just trying to get words out in between sobs. Like, you know when you like run out of breath when you're
Yeah.
crying and you're just like, I just
Gasping for air.
feel
Oh my
so,
god,
so
you're so
sorry.
right.
That
You're
actually
so
is a
right.
very good point.
Now,
It's a sad realization.
if that
but
was
it's true.
maybe that was true.
I have. There's no way that she did
Or
it on
maybe it was a
purpose.
design choice.
You think so?
No, I don't. I don't think there was any intentionality.
Maybe she
to
just
any-
was
There's a hair
saying,
on my
yeah.
taco, dude.
There's a exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But still, you know,
Sometimes
if you
there's a
read
hair
it,
on your taco.
if you read
did
the
I
text
mention?
that way,
Wait, did I mention that book that she wrote with the chapter "There's a hair on my taco, dude"?
Yeah.
Was a New York Times bestseller. It was on the New York Times best-selling list for like weeks.
And Donald Trump.
But this
is the
shit never
president.
charted.
And Donald Trump is the president. So guess what? We're
It all
all
makes
fucking
sense.
idiots.
Moving on.
All right.
Should we just
We
go on
feel
to the next
you.
track,
We're with
maybe?
you.
I suppose.
Track 4, with
What's
this ring,
called? With this ring.
or without this ring.
Oh, same thing.
Sorry.
Same difference.
Without this ring.
Without this ring, thee I do not wed.
Mistakes, I still need to make more mistakes.
So I think we both wrote down the same thing about this song.
Oh, yeah. That it was
Evanescence.
Yeah, I literally wrote that. Yep, I said, here we go with the Evanescence chords again.
Yeah, this is actually really kind of feeling her pain in this song. You know, the lyrics,
I don't
even
wanna
though
make-
they're like
I don't
really
want to make
scattershot.
mistakes. I still want to make more mistakes. Same.
Yeah, like
Hard same.
Hard same.
Agree.
I
Hard
miss that
agree.
ring. I miss you. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I miss that feeling. Like I'm feeling it, which is odd because it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Would this not work as well if it didn't sound like shit? Like if she was on beat, would we get any of this out of it? Would we feel her pain, or would it just be that easy to ignore? I don't know. You know, because it's so jarring, does that make it work better?
No.
I don't think better.
You don't
is the
think
right
so?
word for
Better,
this.
yeah,
'Cause I
better
try to-
doesn't have meaning anymore.
Yeah.
More,
When I heard this song, I remember thinking like, oh, so it's just gonna be like this for the rest of it. Like she's just going on and on and on and on and on in an unbroken, unfiltered,
Yeah.
confusing spray of words.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah, like it's like a word doodle, you know, like one of
Yeah.
those like visual, like these are the most used words you used in 2017, and it's like I book
Yeah.
thing do, like it doesn't make fucking sense. It
Like-
doesn't make sense.
I just it's hard to even talk about it, to be totally honest with you. It's like she felt a feeling and still has no idea how to talk about it.
Right,
Like,
or doesn't know how
what-
to actually
like,
feel that.
Yeah, like
feeling.
what it was, I don't ever. Well, I'll never know.
She's
again.
stating that feelings
have happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but there's
that's true.
there's
Yeah.
no like emotional
I feel-
tie
well,
to
there's no
anything.
resolution
We
of it.
did.
It's,
Right.
You know, there's no like.
We did
She's not
this
working-
and do
she's-
that. Like
It's
the entire
statements of
book is
fact.
the same
Yeah.
thing. It's every paragraph is like 2 sentences, never more
Yeah.
than 3 sentences, and it's all just statement of fact after statement of fact. And then my mother got arrested for holding knives up, and then I decided that I loved Sophia, and then I did and like
It's profoundly sad.
it is really
Is the
sad.
thing.
Like maybe
It's
she
like
just
she
never
doesn't
learned
know-
how to.
She never processes these emotions. She just
Now-
says that she has them.
And now we're doing it for her.
We're
Farrah.
trying to.
Farrah, get in that therapist seat.
Well,
a seat.
okay, I will
Farrah
say
had a
that
seat.
in the book, she did say that she went and saw a counselor, and that it was helpful for her.
Well, that's good.
So
That one day.
that one day,
Yeah.
I know.
Imagine being that counselor.
Let her live. Oh God, I know.
Here's the thing. I'm ready to talk
well, she
about.
grew up. Let's also
my
be clear.
problems.
She grew up in like fucking
Yeah,
bumfuck
true.
Iowa, where there was like no and like
I don't
really.
know if bumfuck Iowa is the term you want to use, considering her
Oh.
future endeavors.
Ooh,
hot take.
yikes. Well, okay. That
Ow.
being said, the best thing that could have happened to her in this situation was being on 16 and pregnant. Most
That's-
likely.
No,
That's
true.
oddly true. Well, I don't know though. Like she has money now, but was it really good for her to be in the public eye, being exploited like that through her adolescence, as she had just had a baby? Like, yes, it's good in some ways, but it's also like horrifying in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but what's the difference, like, between that and any other, like?
Well,
I don't know.
because she's a child.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like,
But like
that versus
she
the
was in
alternative.
school. So the way that it happened
Oh,
was
I
she
see.
was in school she was taking like a class that was like modeling and acting or whatever, and like she basically told her agent like, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and she was like, "Oh, well, I'll get back to you if like we ever have anything for
Aw,
you."
fair.
It was basically like, "Oh, see you never."
Oh, wow.
But then she was like, she called her up and was like, "Oh, actually, MTV is casting this like thing. Would you like think about doing this?"
Should we get Farrah as a guest at some point?
I would love to.
Farrah's
This is what we need for guests. We need Farrah, and we need the people who donated to the
broken
Broken
side.
Side
God.
GoFundMe.
All three of them?
Yeah.
We're gonna play this. This next one is called "Liar Liar."
Oh, God, this song is amazing.
We're
Oh, here we
fighting
go.
now. We're fighting now. All ignored for good, bodies will hold us together. Thick or thin, we're both still in. Hope and hate equals hard.
Hope and hate equals hard, guys.
And hate equals hard. Also,
God.
I like that one
think it's equals
part where
hard.
they double track the vocals and they kind of do a little a harmony. That's the only time that happens on
I
the
know.
entire album.
I know,
Is
yeah,
that
that's-
single line?
I wrote
And what
that
a
too. I said
hit
I
it
kind
is.
of like this underwater quality this song has overall.
Hope or hate
Equals hard. Hard.
No, it's weird because this song almost gave me like. It feels so ridiculous saying this.
It sounds like it's gonna be ridiculous. I'm ready.
A little bit of a Bjork vibe.
We're fighting.
Huh? Yeah.
Ooh,
You know,
that's
like-
actually not. That's not
that's
an
a good take.
uncommon
Yeah.
take that people have had
Yeah.
when reviewing this album.
But it's just like if it had like no production value and like no talent behind
And
it.
no talent and no
But it's
no
still
intention.
the feeling you get from
There
a
is
Bjork
feeling.
song.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that underwater kind of icy, like you're like pounding on the like couple of inches underneath the surface.
And the song's also like kind
I'm
of
drowning.
long.
I'm drowning. Not.
It's kind of long compared to the other ones, and it just keeps going.
It
it's
does
just
keep going.
It's just a confounding smorgasbord of emotions. Like I'm sad, but also
Yeah.
annoyed,
Yep.
and gripped, but so bored.
Yeah.
It's like
This whole album is oxymoronic.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your take on this one?
I wrote, my note says, oh, the same song over again.
It's the second.
oh, wait, it's this one.
Yes, this one. This song is bizarre and bad. Yeah, I don't know. I can't add anything else to what you've said already about it.
Yeah. I said the modulation makes her seem like she's a Furby losing battery. She does sound like one of those sex dolls if it became sentient.
Furbies
Yeah.
sound more enthusiastic because Furbies are like, oh, well.
Well, trust
And
me,
she's
from that sex tape, Furbies
Oh, God.
do sound more enthusiastic.
Oh God, does she make Furby noises when she
No,
fucks?
she's so bored.
One of the
She's
notes
so
I had to
bored.
write down that my roommate said when we were listening to this one was, oh my God, can you imagine having sex with her? Which is, no, I can't.
You
And I don't
can.
want to.
All you have to do is
I think
watch
a lot
that
of people
sex
have,
tape. A lot of
certainly.
people do.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually when I was trying to see if anyone had like talked about this album on Reddit, so I searched on Reddit Farrah
Yeah.
Abraham, and almost all the results were nude pictures of her and nude videos of her. Yeah.
Well, she's
God.
pretty publicly nude.
Up
That's
porn,
kind of
yeah.
like her thing. Yeah.
Right, true.
I did say that like at this point in the album is when I was kind of like recognizing the fact that there was so little self-consciousness in the making
Yeah.
of this that it was kind of refreshing on some level.
okay.
You know what I mean? I started to like appreciate the fact that she clearly had no understanding of like what music was
Yeah.
at all,
It
and
makes it
she
a little-
didn't care, which is also like infuriating kind of because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well look, so many artists are like fantastic and they never get an album produced or
but
like
here
a
she
record
is.
deal, but here you are.
On Spotify.
Yeah, it's almost like if I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna weld something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'm going to be a chemistry teacher.
Right.
Like, that's
Except
who I am.
you
I'm going to be an
assume-
astrophysicist.
But you
know?
assume that
That's-
Farrah has heard music before.
I
this.
don't assume that after
maybe
the
you shouldn't
after the
assume that.
listening of this
Only Soldier
album.
Boy.
Yeah, she's only.
This is like if an alien
Yes.
is in the process of trying to figure out what music is.
That's-
What
yeah, that's
human
we-
music was and was doing their best impersonation.
Human music.
Right. That's what
Human.
we made that exact comment multiple times at my house when we heard this album.
Yeah.
The other thing about this, by the time I got to this point in the album, I realized it was just facts in a series. Like, it was
Yeah,
just-
right. It's like
a
the
series of
saddest
facts.
resume ever.
And then
We're
this.
fighting. We're fighting not.
We're fighting. Yeah, she also just kept telling me that they're fighting. Like I know,
Which
I
means
get it.
they're fighting.
That's it. Yeah,
It's
we're
not you're
now,
fighting
we're
not. It's
fighting
probably
now.
we're fighting not.
Oh, we're fighting not.
Yeah, that's a weird. Like I know
Not-
she's doing the like he loves me. He
It's
loves me
like
not
it's
thing.
like the rerun things where
Wow.
they don't run we friggin' Miley Cyrus line.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
So it's somehow deeper and less deep than I thought.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the conundrum of
This
My
entire
teenage dream.
yeah, it's true.
My teenage dream has ended.
it's simultaneously complete garbage and the most thought-provoking album I've ever heard.
Yeah. Or just the former.
Or most definitely.
No, you guys.
I'm not on that. I'm not on
I'm
that.
not
either.
But
So
whatever.
I'm not
okay,
on that
we're gonna
side.
keep
I'm sorry
listening.
to
We'll
say.
see if we get okay. So this next song, this is called Unplanned Parenthood, and I just want
Yes,
to mention
good
this
title.
that in the book she talks about the fact that she was on birth control, but that she had taken antibiotics for like her tonsils or something. She had like a tonsil like surgery or whatever, she had to take antibiotics, and those interfered with her birth control pills. Who knew that this was a thing that could happen? I didn't know this.
Didn't know that.
This is an educational podcast now too. And so she
Talk
got
to your
I have to look
doctor.
into that because I did not know
she
that
got
was the
pregnant,
case.
and she went to Planned Parenthood, who was talking to her about the medical abortion, which is like taking a few pills and then ending the pregnancy. It doesn't allow the cells to latch on to the inside of the uterus, so just flushes them on out. And she went to go to her mom to get her to sign the paper, and her mom would not. They wouldn't
ended
let
her
her.
Teenage dream.
And ended her
Right then
Yes.
and there.
They-
Sorry, kid.
Yep.
This teenage dream is
Has
officially
ended. So this is that song,
Yes.
Unplanned Parenthood.
I'm all by myself, I know I need a change. I'll say goodbye to the nights and the crazy spending. Just say goodbye to the drugs and the drinking. Permanent, not permanent. Love me not. Permanent, not permanent. Love me not.
All right, I love the Prodigy beat.
No, that's,
Yeah.
that's the Peaches
Yeah.
beat.
Do not lump them in the same
Yeah.
category. Jesus Christ.
Oh no, I'm not
man.
saying like Peaches is obviously a million times more
It's like if
talented
Peaches
and amazing.
was
And
terrible, you know, like
Yeah.
if Peaches was really, really,
I think Peaches
really
could,
bad.
I think Peaches could teach her a thing or two, you know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, at least,
or 12.
yeah, 2 is the minimum.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
this
the
is-
absolute minimum.
There's another one where there's so many weird long gaps between lines, like especially near the end. There's a part near the end where she just goes, "Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby," and then it's like 15 seconds of just the beat before she says something else.
Yeah, on my notes I wrote, "Oh my god, these babies are fucking wild."
Just throw that
I
in.
also think there's a line in here that says thinking is overrated, which seemed very true for her.
But it's definitely very hard to like know what any of the lyrics are to this. I
Yeah.
wrote down the lyrics that I literally took this off of a lyrics page. Okay, this is
This
the
might
lyrics.
be wrong, by the way.
It probably is, but
I'm
this is
hoping
what it
it's
says.
right.
I'm writing.
Okay.
I'm
'Cause I think
expressing.
I saw the same page.
Replace the formula and diverge with pop rocks. This bump doesn't go away.
That's a line.
Nor does the fear in my face.
That's a
That's
line.
a
too.
line.
It feels
That's a
like I'm
scary line,
going
yeah.
in this unders alone. Hard rock hands. Oh, be you there? I see da be eerie. Abu, are we together
right, now
or
this-
apart?
this is
Because
where-
is a new start.
Yeah, that's where it gets like they're just
I'm
like
all by myself and I know I need to change, so say goodbye to the not tonight. Friend Dean. Goodbye to the drugs and the drinking.
That's a line.
yeah, that's-
On and
that's a line.
off, Issa, work anymore. Is it the happy ending or is this a spaceship? Lick it and thinking. Overrated.
Thinking overrated. Told you.
Permanent, not permanent. Love me not. Together or apart. Set the tone.
So some of that's right and some of that's very wrong. Like,
Extremely bright.
But also,
lyrics.
was any of this ever right? Like, what is right and wrong anymore?
Yeah, true.
Dude?
well, I'm just saying, it seems to me that someone listened to the album and then was like they listened to this song and any lines that they couldn't figure out, they just wrote phonetically what it sounded like to them.
Yes.
Right.
Which is the best you can do, honestly. Like, I don't blame them.
Right.
I don't think she actually says,
Is this a spaceship?
is this a spaceship?
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe
she might.
does.
I don't think she
might.
actually says, Abu, are we together?
I don't know.
I don't think she says, I see da be eerie.
Is
don't
she
know.
saying permanent, not permanent?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I don't know what
That
she's-
sounds
what the
right.
fuck
I
she's
actually
talking
like
about.
that.
Me too.
I actually like that line.
Nice one. Good one, Farrah. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
I said, I hope this is fucking therapeutic for her because it is my own personal nightmare listening to this album right now.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So this next song, you said "Fire, Fire, Fire." So what an
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
intro.
see.
The song itself is called "Searching for Closure." I wish, God, I wish, but there's still more songs after that. So
I see your friends, family, and others in between. I hate how they've acted. Disrespect, lies, and bigness. Lack of love. You deserve better. I'm only trying to make the difference. I'm holding back my tears, my tongue. This kills me.
yeah,
Fire.
yeah, I can really hear the
I also
fire in
wrote.
that one.
I also wrote. This is the single. It's got
Oh
it
my
all.
God.
It's got everything you need.
I mean, it is. I don't know. The slow Evanescence jam songs, the Evanescence songs are pretty gripping.
that
Heartbeat in the background,
killing me.
And the spooky resonant church chorus in the background, you know,
tugging on
that
my
little, it really
heartstrings.
adds to the ambience, you know?
Yeah.
Lack of
Ambiance. Love and
Yeah.
love.
If I wanted to show someone Farrah Abraham, I'd choose this song. It has all the good elements I love.
Yeah, this
It
is
has
the.
no good elements. It has zero.
Which I love. Those are the things I love about it.
Okay.
All zero of them.
I wrote, it's like if somebody found a child's diary and then sang them in an indifferent baby voice.
Well, these are just entries from her diary. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
That's literally what it is.
When she was
it
a
all
child.
makes sense.
Yeah.
She was.
She brought the producer said that she brought her diary into the recording session.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
Yeah, that's like what she was.
Well, that's how you make a hit,
So
folks.
that solves the question of, is it art? Yes, it's art. That's how you make art.
That's how you do it. She's doing it. She's a
amazing.
star.
I think it is art, you guys. I think it's art.
Yeah, garbage is art. Everything's art.
What has more artistic merit, like this or Shepherd Fairy?
Shepherd Fairy. What's Shepherd
Definitely
Fairy?
The guy-
Shepherd Fairy.
You think so?
Oh, the
I think
obey.
I think he's a fucking hack.
Oh yeah.
Yo, yeah, but this is definitely a fucking hack.
This is a different. This is in a different category altogether.
I don't know, dude. Yeah,
Like
you can't compare.
Shepherd Fairy took steps towards art, whereas Farrah doesn't. She doesn't.
Shepherd
she's not even
Farrah.
trying to do art.
But it's kind of like, I don't know, like, I know I've heard that, I can't name anyone's name or anything, but I've definitely seen those artists where it's like some like isolated person out in New Hampshire or out in Iowa or something who died, and then like when they did his like estate sale or whatever, they found artwork that he never meant to like distribute, but it was like really like brilliant, even though it had no like technique at all.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, you know, this is that type of thing.
No, it is not.
No.
That's
Literally, the
false.
only reason this exists
Sorry
is
to
because
say.
we've taken something that has existed throughout time,
Yeah.
which is like teenage angst written in a literal diary for that one person
Yeah.
to like experience. And then we've added modern technology, which makes this undeservedly possible to take those like banal entries and turn them into fucking agonizing, like terrifying, bad.
I'm gonna lay it down.
Glitch pop.
I'm gonna lay it down spicy for you right now.
Agree with Heather.
This is
sorry to say.
this is the purest expression of teen angst that you can get from any
Are you
sort
fucking
of,
kidding
sort
me?
of media available today.
Absolutely incorrect.
Another
Listen
falsehood.
to fucking punk music, you know?
I
like,
mean, I
listen
do.
to fucking
I'm in a
hardcore. Like,
punk
listen
band.
to...
Yeah.
Well, there's young people that are making punk that's frantic and
Yeah, but they're
shrieking.
they're posturing.
Well,
What are you
okay.
talking about? Like, I listened to a fucking band last night that were like radical, all trans fucking hardcore band that screamed this music is not for cishet, sit the fuck down, and then like launched into like an incredible and blistering, searing hardcore punk set.
well, that sounds really dope.
It was really dope,
But-
and it's happening all over the place, and that is so much better than what this is.
I don't know, but when you
I mean, yeah.
when
This
you
is
take,
so self-indulgent
No,
and
I-
like
I guess,
it is.
but I don't know. I feel like when you can.
I'm gonna have to ask you to
Her-
retract your comment that this is a pure expression of angst.
I think this is a pure expression of angst, and I refuse to retract
All
that
right.
comment.
I mean, maybe it's a
comment.
pure expression of angst, but the presence of angst doesn't make it
Good, yeah. It
No.
doesn't make it art.
I'm not.
or even art.
Does it make it good? No, I don't. I think objectively this is bad.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right.
But-
agree. Hard agree.
I think it is.
Hard
I think it
same.
is art, regardless of whether it was
Okay.
intended to be. I think it is.
I guess it's
You
bad
can read the
art.
text that way. No,
Yeah, it is.
it's
bad
modern art. It's modern art.
Bad art.
What? It's bad art. Come on. Come
I
on.
mean, look. Yes, it's
It's
bad.
like if you left
music.
enough.
It's bad music.
It's like
yes,
if you left
it's good
enough
art.
fucking like sad sex robots in a room together and gave them like language ability, and
Yeah.
then they like.
But isn't it creepy
What
that
is it?
she is like a human sex robot?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is creepy, but
Yes.
it's not intentional. So
I know, but we're not talking about intention here. We're talking about
art is about intent. How can you divorce
this is
art
getting
from intent,
very
my
intense.
dude? We
I
try
think
to be
you
a little
can
spicy,
easily do.
but art is all about intent. That's why
No,
you literally have
it's all-
artistic statements that go along with art
Your art.
exhibits.
Yeah.
It's the whole point is that there has to be some level of intentionality behind the artistic
Yo,
creation.
imagine
Yes.
Farrah
That's
Abraham.
done.
no, because there's
Done.
found art. There's such a thing as found art.
Yeah, but
Right,
the
but
artist
you
is
had
who's
it
found
Not
it.
just about the artist's intention. It's also about you, the person reading the text, the person viewing the
Yeah,
art.
but then you're
what
the
you
artist.
get out of it.
Right,
You're not the
I'm
artist.
not arguing that we're not artists.
Yeah,
No,
true.
no, I'm not
We're
saying we're
making
artists.
art.
But when you
This is art.
engage with the art,
This is
that's what
art.
it. That's
Right.
what as
This
art.
is
that's
more
what becomes art.
artistic
God, this
than-
is so fucking pretentious. Remember last week when we were just getting mad about fucking
Yeah.
dumb dad blues?
This is what happens
Now
when
we're
you turn on
getting into
Farrah
it.
Abraham.
Now
dude.
because of Farrah Abraham, we're getting into like a deep
Weigh in my stoppies.
debate.
Weigh in my stoppies.
Wait,
At Make
I
It
wanna-
Stopcast.
Yeah.
At Make It Stopcast on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. Make It Stop. Weigh in my little stoppies.
All right, tweet at us at Make It
Wait,
Stop
I have to say
Cast.
something.
If you think this is art, hashtag Farrah Abraham. If you think that this is not art, hashtag Farrah Badraham.
Farrah Fartbraham.
Farrah Fartbraham.
Fartra Abraham.
Fartra.
Wait, I think I
Fartra
have
Abraham.
evidence to suggest it might be art.
Okay, go on.
She did write a artist statement / a whole book.
That's true.
Does that count as an artist statement?
But you didn't read the book.
That's true.
The book
Yeah,
has no.
fair.
The book has no
Very
sort of
true.
metaphor in it. There's no thematic, continuity or like cohesiveness. There's nothing that takes it to like any sort of an elevated
Yeah.
level. I'm sorry, that might make me pretentious, but I don't fucking care. It is
okay.
literally what you said.
You have standards.
It is like
I
a
think-
resume. It's a sad resume.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
listing
yeah,
of all
yeah.
the sad things that happened, and
Yeah.
then additionally also more ones as well.
I'm definitely being more pretentious by saying this is art. So
Yeah.
Agree.
don't worry about
Hard
yourself.
agree.
Hard agree. All right, let's
But
play.
I'm sticking to my guns. Stop
We
it.
got only a few more songs here.
They'll come
so
out
let's
and support
get
you.
this. Let's
I have
get this
no
over
notes
with.
about the next one. I don't know.
All right, that's probably for the best. All right,
What's
let's
the next
listen.
one?
This one is On My Own.
Okay. I have notes.
My hopes have dropped, my sadness flares, my anger is my power, my heart just stares. Trying to keep it together, there's so many spaces to fill. I'm overwhelmed, overworked, underfed. Win-win, not enough money to budget with. Don't figure till I make it through. Yeah, I'll make it through.
Wow.
Okay,
She almost caught a beat.
I didn't have
Yeah,
much to say about
I was
it.
thinking the same thing. Like she's so close.
She's almost there.
She's so close to catching that beat, and I kind
Yeah,
of
but,
feel
like,
like
it's
if she
like
caught the beat on that, it
just
might
for
be
a
a.
sec.
It's
Yeah.
like so close
Yeah,
to
she might be
hang
good.
gliding, but then you just fall
Then you-
into
yeah.
like a rocky, craggy.
Right. It's
Yeah.
a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
to the crag.
into the
That's an aggro crag.
the rock bottom.
Yeah, she was on
yeah.
a beat for a second and then just descended into the usual.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
if-
I'm almost good at driving, but I drove off a cliff.
Yeah.
If she was physically capable of catching the beat, which she's not, but if she was,
I was on the road for a second there. Then I careened off of it and crashed. Then totaled the car.
Yeah, do we give her credit
No, it's
for the
art.
second,
It's
or
art.
do we call it art? Yeah, exactly. What the fuck?
it is art, you guys.
It's not art.
Come on, Stoppies. What do you
I
say?
don't know. Okay.
Poppy's gonna weigh in.
I didn't have much to say.
Our three
This
Twitter
sounded-
followers have to let us
They're
know.
gonna know.
what they think.
We're gonna get lit up.
I did like the line that she says in here. The anger is my power line.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
really
Me too.
enjoyed that.
Me
that
too.
was probably one of my favorite lines of the whole album.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Mm-hmm.
because it was good. I mean, it's pretty punk. That's pretty
Yeah,
punk.
she
Well,
had 4 good words. In
It's the only
good
use.
words.
It's the only
The other
use
ones
of,
were I and you.
yeah.
It's literally. I'm pretty sure the only use of metaphor on the entire album. It's the only time where she's
true.
not just stating
A true
A-
fact.
a
a true
true
fact, and is her actually like.
Her thoughts, her prayers. In my sadness. She's a robot. Yes. Farrah is a robot person. And good for her.
It's safe to say.
Yeah. No, she's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
She's fine.
She's fine.
Yeah, I took no notes. I think I was dissociated at this point.
Yeah, we were all in
You
kind
didn't
of
take any notes on the next
state.
song?
Just number 10. The next one I got plenty of notes.
Number 9 is
Yeah.
this one, the
right.
Sunshine State. This is the real.
This is
fucking
the jam.
shit.
This is the
real
jam.
shit.
This is
Yeah.
this is concentrated Farrah Abraham.
All right,
Yeah, this
let's-
is it.
Let's listen to it.
Unadulterated.
Big like a mini series. Top down. There's car short. High heels makes men go loco. Go, go, go. Everlight. Appeal to me. Everlight. Appeal to me. Everlight. Appeal to me.
What the fuck?
What is that?
Dude, I
That's
wrote
Death Grips.
Yeah.
I actually felt like my computer was breaking during this song.
This is a one-way ticket to a bad trip.
Oh my god.
sure.
Put this
Oh my
shit
God.
on.
I
Yeah,
called
for
it a
sure.
musical
If you
jump.
wanna-
I called it a musical jump scare.
Yeah, correct.
If you want to ruin someone's life, just wait until they're on acid and then play this
Just
song.
play this.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, no, then get them in a discussion about whether it's art or not, and
It's
then
fucking
just leave them there.
Thank you
Is there
for that,
anything
guys.
on? Is there any song on the Bruno album that could make you have a bad trip like that? No. There's power.
No, it's true.
There's power in
True.
these songs. Her anger is her power.
Her
Her heart just stares.
So this
There's
song.
power in a lot of terrible things, though.
But this shit is
Is
fucking
Donald
scary.
is Donald Trump art?
Good point. No. No.
No.
The art of the deal, you guys.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's
Oh
a
my
great
God.
thing to say. I gotta read you my notes here.
Yeah,
so the
please
first thing
do.
I said is just this album is so sad, which I think is true. That's just an important point. It's sad as fuck.
It's good to reiterate
It's
that.
just sad as fuck.
It's sad, it's scary, it's good
Very
food.
sad.
This track is the most insane track on the album,
Easily.
in my opinion. And there's a you heard it in the clip briefly, but that very one loud tone it repeats over and over and over and over again like an alarm clock. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Yeah, those are not jokes. That's just as I'm stating facts about the album in a series.
That's how it doesn't stop repeating.
It's just how it
No, I
was.
wrote down some of the lyrics to this. It
Yes.
was va va vacay, island poppin', fantasy to wonder, palms, white waves, and then all caps, seashells and flowers.
Oh my god.
Guys partying, drinks flowing, endless money,
Oh my god.
all caps, keep it going.
And
Yeah, it's an alien listening to pop music.
The lyrics I wrote down were high heels makes men go loco, go, 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 go.
But again, you gave that
Yeah.
more rhythm than
I know.
anything that has appeared on this album. So
I can't help it. I'm naturally
Aw.
a rhythmic.
He
Boy.
can't help it.
You just can't help it.
He's just a little boy.
What a
I'm
sweet-
just a little boy.
He's just a boy. Hi.
All right, it's bad.
I need more.
It's
though,
good.
is what
I
I'll
think that's
say.
the best song on the album.
You what?
I
Yeah.
think it's the craziest song.
That song is that song is actually like
It is the
when
most
it clicked for
schizophrenic
me.
song
Yeah,
in the
for
album.
sure.
That's when it clicked for me. Like, you know what? I take this for what it is, and I appreciate it.
What?
I actually appreciate it, you guys.
What's with this track?
Oh.
That is not the track that's going to push
No.
me over the edge.
None of them are, actually. as a matter of fact.
absolutely not.
This is the track
No
where I
way.
thought, wow, she's crazy, just like I
Yeah.
thought for the other 10 tracks
Yep.
leading up to this
Yep.
one. No offense. I mean,
That's
I wish her
fine.
the best.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine.
It's fine.
I'm fine.
She's fine.
I'll be fine.
Thank you, Farrah.
All right, we are going to be fine because this is our
This is
last
our last
song.
Oh, thank
that we're
God.
gonna
This
review.
album is only 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Which
It's a
I appreciate
long-
because
Thank God.
that's
Long
less than
30
half
minutes.
the length of the Broken Side
Oh my
album.
God. This is the last song in the album. It is called Finally Getting Up from Rock Bottom. So that whole
Wow.
song is about like being happy and enjoying the moment, and she sounds
Yeah.
terrified
Yeah.
and in
Yes.
agony.
So my note was finally getting up from the bottom, not convinced. You know what I mean? Like, it's still scary and sad.
All I wrote was, "This is an audio stroke."
Oh,
Well, there's a part in
God,
it.
it is,
There's a
though.
part in it where she goes, I am dressed up. I know it's done. Enjoy the moments while I'm in them and no regrets to let it flow. And then ba 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 ba
Yeah.
ba 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 ba. That is written on the lyrics page.
That's actually the words.
Ba 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 ba.
She descends into madness.
It's an audio stroke. That's a Bach-free
Yeah.
flu
Aw.
kind of.
Check for the warning signs. Call an ambulance.
Jesus.
Poor Farrah.
Christ.
Good God.
Oh yeah, no, this was actually the one that I gave the Peaches comparison to. I said this sounds.
Oh.
I said this kind of sounds like Peaches if Peaches was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's accurate.
I wasn't looking at the album when I was listening to it, and I thought this was a really weird ending song.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, this is supposed
There's
to be.
no ending.
This
Yeah.
is supposed to be the triumphant kind of
And
like.
it's-
Right, but
oh,
musically,
really
there's
not.
no sense of that.
No.
No,
not
there's
at
never
all.
in any song any sense
it's
of like.
panicked and hurried and,
Yeah.
and scared.
Yeah.
Right.
And angry.
She was probably so happy to be done recording the album.
Right,
though.
probably.
She finished
Yeah.
this.
Oh, thank God, it's over.
It's like when she like forces her like daughter to
Oh, no.
be
Oh,
on in like
Oh,
fashion
come
shows.
on.
Oh.
Yeah, it is like that. Yeah.
But honestly, nothing about this album works. It's
Nope.
objectively bad. But
It
that's
is.
Oh God.
But it's
That's sort
kind
of
of-
how
it's
why
kind of-
it works.
But
Yeah,
it's kind
okay,
of a
no.
soundtrack
Yeah.
to her own mental breakdown.
Yes.
And does that make it meaningful art, or is it just a tragedy, or is it
I think it's
tragic?
just a tragedy.
You guys have given
In
your
my
opinion.
view.
I think it does. Honestly,
That's fair.
I actually this was to me
I-
the
I feel like you can really, you're overly relaxing what the term art means, and I definitely
right.
do think that like yes, like queering the idea of art is important, and like bringing it down so that like like art made by regular people can just be just
Be
as
art,
artistic and
yeah.
meaningful as like some resplendent Renaissance painting, but this is
nice
not
diction.
one, right?
Yeah, that was a nice. Well said.
Was that artistic?
You're a weaver
Yes.
of words
I-
for certain.
I mean, yeah, so like, and that's why I think I'm more protective of the concept of what like could be considered artistic. But I also have an inclination to
I know.
side with this like this
Yeah, I
this
do too.
anguish, because it really is an
You're almost
anguished
convincing me that it is
album.
art right now. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's
Because
like
I want her to be let in the club, the art club.
it's like you can argue all day about what is a sandwich. You know,
You
is a
can.
hot dog a sandwich?
No.
All right. Well, I'm saying that
No.
this is a hot dog, and it might be a sandwich. This album is a hot dog, and it might be a sandwich.
I like
This
As
that.
in, it's
this
made
album
up
is
of
garbage.
the discarded scraps
Yeah,
of like
yeah, other
various
sandwiches.
animals, and like coagulated into one like tubular like offering.
It looks like
You
a
can argue
sandwich.
all day that it's not
and then
art because it didn't have a.
spackled with condiments to cover up the messy
Tragedy.
bits. Yeah.
A hot dog
you know,
is a happier item than this city.
You know, you can argue all day.
And it's still a
Somehow.
very sad
Yeah.
item.
Hot dogs are pretty tragic, but not quite as tragic as this.
You can say that it's not artistic because it didn't have artistic intention, but you know what? At the end of the day, you're looking at some protein between bread. That sounds like a sandwich to me.
Oh, good grief! That
There-
that ending.
Is that
there?
also was that also a sex fucking tape reference right there? Some protein between.
God.
Just some protein
All right.
between a couple of buns. Hi.
Ryan, how does this compare to the cobbler?
Yeah, I
Would you rather watch the cobbler or listen to this album?
Well, I'll be watching The Cobbler tonight, as I do every night before I go to bed. I don't know if this album will make it into the standard bedtime routine.
canon.
The canon. But we'll probably give it at least 30 to 40 more listens, I'll say.
On a scale of 1 to the cobbler.
This album is... Okay, let's make comparisons. It's about time we talked about The Cobbler. I would say that this
You are the expert. That's why we brought you in here.
this album makes about as much sense as The Cobbler makes.
Okay.
Like you,
It's about as
leaving
necessary.
The Cobbler and leaving this album, you are scratching your head wondering how it is that there is something like this that I'm watching. Like how did it come to be that
And
all the
I'm
parts
here
came together?
consuming this.
The Cobbler, I think I will say is even more mysterious because I can imagine Farrah Abraham's going in the studio, putting on the click track and getting it done, and just reading from her diary, and there it was. Whereas The Cobbler, there's a lot of people involved. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's 35, 40 people, millions of dollars were spent, and that movie's fucking buck wild crazy. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Folks, you got to listen to the Cobcast.
So check out the Cobcast, I guess.
Where
Or don't.
can people-
It's also fine if you don't.
Where can
listen
people
to
find the
Cobcast.
Cobcast?
I don't know. Google it.
It's on SoundCloud, right?
SoundCloud? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's where I listen to it.
Cobcast.
Cobcast.
Cobheads, if you have fan theories, you want to contribute to our Cobbler zine, any Sandler heads out there, just send us your art, send us your theories to cobcast420@gmail.com.
And stoppies who are Cobb curious, this is... Tweet at us after you watch the Cobbler. Tell us what you thought.
Yeah, watch the Cobbler for sure.
No.
Actually, have you ever seen, that?
Don't do these things.
You know
We're
that?
living,
Wait, no, this is
we're
actually-
living in an apocalypse
If you-
scenario, and we're wasting our
know, like-
days away doing
like-
this shit.
You know that thing like Dark
It's
Side?
the only way I can keep living.
I know.
You know like Dark Side of the
dude.
Wizard of Oz? Have you ever done that with the Pink Floyd album?
Yeah.
Farrah Abrahams and the Cobbler actually do match together quite nicely. Also.
On a scale of... We're going to rate this now.
Okay.
One
On a
to
scale of 0 to -5.
0 to -5 good decisions. Okay, what I'm inevitably comparing this to is Broken Side.
-5 is Broken Side. Well, actually, we gave Broken Side a -7,000.
Right. So, did I enjoy this more than Broken Side? Yes.
Of course.
Did I enjoy this more than The Life of Bruno, Return of whatever the fuck? Yes.
Yes, of course.
Was it good? No. Let's say a -4 good decisions. But a negative plus a negative equals a positive, so...
No one's going to get that reference. Yo, watch the Christie episode of Intervention. It is the greatest.
That was art.
That was art. Her life was an art piece.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very bad, but I really enjoyed it. So I don't know what that would be.
That's interesting.
-4 good decisions.
Yeah, -4. Go
Well,
ahead.
fine.
I'll put it down this way, and I'm kind of on the same page as you. I'd say musically, as a piece of music, it's a -5. I mean,
Yeah.
it is.
It's really bad.
It doesn't get much worse in terms of execution. If you're trying to make music and this is what happens, that's a -5. But in terms of what I got out of this, it's a 0.
Oof.
I really
Yeah.
So disappointing.
But
I
is that
really,
a good thing?
It's the only,
according to our
it's the
ratings?
only album
best it can get.
we've done so far, and maybe one of the only albums we'll do that moved me emotionally. And you know what? I give it a lot of points for that.
That's
So
true.
I'm gonna meet in the
so that
middle.
brings to 0.
I'm gonna meet in the middle.
Oh.
And I'm gonna give this
-3.
-2.5.
Okay.
Good decisions.
I respect that.
Yeah, I definitely want to agree that I felt things. Mostly, regret for having hit play.
We're agreeing to be on this podcast.
No, this is awesome. I'm gonna give it a -3.
-3.
Okay.
And the reason I'm gonna give it a -3, I haven't listened to Broken Side, but I listened to you guys talk about Broken Side, and I heard the samples, and Broken Side is garbage. And this is also garbage, but Broken Side, I could not listen to that album. I don't think I could survive it. Whereas this was I got through it.
Yeah.
It made me have a panic attack, but that's fine. Did it? No, not really. So -3, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Good decisions.
Well, I guess we've said all we can say
It's true.
about Farrah
We've
Abraham.
exhausted
Stoppies,
all of our-
check it out. Tweet at us. Let us know what you thought.
We're
Get on
at-
our Facebook page.
At Make It Stop Cast on Twitter. We're on Facebook at Make It Stop. Please check us out. We're going to be coming back in another week, and we're going to be doing a metal edition.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about what our listeners are going to be able to vote for. Yeah.
My Stoppies.
Must stop it.
This last episode, we were so enamored by this album, we had to do it. We didn't give you a choice.
No.
But this week we're giving you a choice. It's going to be all.
Also, because we didn't trust you, because you made us listen to The Return of Bruno, and what the fuck is up with that?
Right. But this week we're going to
Sorry.
give you 4 choices. They're all metal albums. It's going to be a metal week next week. And here's what you're going to be choosing from. Thrash Queen, Ashes to Ashes. That's I believe they're French. So this is they're like a thrash band. They're all ladies, and they broke up. But
That
then
sounds good.
But then their label started releasing albums by a fake version of them that was made up of studio musicians, and this is their first fake thrash queen album. Also, the album that they actually made, like, it's got good riffs, but like the production is like it's bad enough that we could possibly do that one, but the fake ones are even worse. What else we got? We got Morbid Angel, Elid Divinum Insanus.
Cool.
It's their second most recent album, and it's a band that was legendary in their own right. That just made some very bad decisions as of late. This album is notoriously bad. We got Attack Attack, Someday Came Suddenly. This is a notorious crabcore band.
What? What is that?
And then Google it.
Crabcore.
No.
Yeah. This is
Wait, are they crabby?
They're called crabcore
They
because of the
crab dance,
way
the walking,
they do
right?
crab walking
Oh,
while
They
they're
do
and they
crab
hold their
walking.
guitars between their legs.
That's cool.
No, it's not.
And then finally,
Everything's art.
That sounds like art.
Did you know that everything's art? Courtesy.
guys.
Make It Stop podcast. Go ahead.
don't cyberbully me. And then,
Too late.
And then choice 4 is going to be Metallica and Lou Reed, Lulu. An album by
Wait, we're not doing Lou Reed Metal Machine music.
Well, no, that's not really metal.
Okay.
But that's definitely a candidate for a future episode.
Okay. All right.
That last one's my pick. That
So
sounds
those are
good.
the 4. So let's say them again real quick
All right,
so that people can vote.
Yep, so here's what you're going to be voting on. Once again, Thrash Queen, Ashes to Ashes, Morbid Angel, Elud Divinum Insanus, Attack Attack, Someday Came Suddenly, and Metallica and Lou Reed, Lulu.
All right, guys.
So
You
that'll
heard
be
it.
on the Facebook page.
And on the Twitter, at Make It
on the
Stop
Twitter.
Cast.
So-
Make It Stop the podcast. We'll be
Nice.
posting this up
Thanks.
on our Mixcloud. I just want to take a second to thank our guest here, Brian
welcome.
Melanson of the
Thank you,
Cobcast fame. Many
yeah,
thanks to
of
you for
course.
coming out from
My pleasure.
Western Mass to be
Truly,
a part of this
Truly my pleasure.
very special experience that we just shared together. So.
Yeah, there's no turning back now.
Nope,
So,
certainly not. Certainly
my
not.
teenage dream ended here with you.
Yep. And
Sadly.
my new nightmare has just begun.
It's only just begun.
Thank you to everybody who listened. God bless you.
God
Yeah,
bless
thanks
you.
for hanging with us. This was a long episode. So,
Sure was.
Hi.
Till
We'll
next
fix
time.
it in
me.
post.
Till next time, Stoppies.
No post.
Bye.
Bye.